Hi, guys.
Hello.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July. If you're in America, they didn't say that to us when we were in England, and I don't understand.
I know.
Actually, the gal that we stayed with, she bought us little mini fireworks.
Oh, she did. Oh, how cute.
Crystal thought of our 4th of July. She knows how Americans feel about that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Today we were talking about how to find deals in the grocery store. I have been told over and over again that in 2024, it is not possible to find deals in the grocery store and eat $100 per month per person. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that. Number one, and the one that we always use because it's just the standard, use your ads. Your ads. Now,
I'm surprised how many people don't know about the ads.
No.
I'm really shocked.
And people say, well, you don't have paper ads come in your mail anymore. These still do come in my mail. But all you have to do is go online to your store, and every single store says weekly ad, usually at the top somewhere, and just click on the weekly ad. And just make sure it's for your town. If it says, like for me, when I click in there, it says Boise, Idaho, and I'm in Wyoming. Well, I'm going to need to change the zip code. So you just change the zip code in there, and then you get the ad for your area. But this is the biggest way this is the number one way to save money. So when chicken is $2.47 a pound, I fill every single hole that's left in my freezer. When milk, here it's $2.47. It was $1.99, but $2.47 is the target price now. When it's $2.47, I fill up every hole in my freezer.
You can freeze milk. I had that question asked me just last week again.
Yep.
And they said, can you freeze milk? Yes, you can.
Now, here's a tip that nobody ever talks about, but calculate in your freezer, what is the most valuable space? Will you get more value out of filling all the holes with chicken, filling all the holes with milk, or doing half and half? If you have 5 kids under 5 and they drink a lot of milk, you might behoove you to get more milk than to get chicken. If you're like our family, where we only have 1 person left out of 3 at home that drinks milk, then we fill it with chicken. Okay? So, meat, as a general rule, meat should always be the first thing you fill your freezer with.
Mm-hmm.
As a general rule, fruits and vegetables should be the second thing you fill your freezer with, because those are the second most expensive things. Then things like cheeses and milk, that type of thing, are the other things after that are the most expensive. And then the little things like butter is more expensive. So when it goes on sale this week, butter is $2.97. So I'm going to be going and getting some more of that. And then what you do is you're always pulling out of your freezer the cheap food, and you're not just going to the grocery store and just buying the expensive food at full price. I never buy chicken for $5 a pound because I always have it for $2 to $2.47 a pound in my freezer. So I just use it out of my freezer.
And to add to the freezer thing, I don't think we emphasize this enough. You need to keep that freezer cleaned out and organized.
Yep.
That food's not going to do you any good. It's just going to be a waste of your money if you forget you have it in there, if you can't find it, if it's buried someplace, So on a regular basis, go through and find a system. We've got several things that we've done videos on how to do freezers and stuff like that. So go through and find something that works for you and keep that organized, because you're wasting all this money and doing the sales ads and putting stuff in the freezer if you're not going to be using the food.
And a good way to do it is to have one shelf be one item. So like one shelf is chicken, one shelf is beef, one shelf is pork, one shelf is butter, the door is butter, or the door is cheese, however you want to organize it. Then what I do is I'll either go top to top down. So the 80% of my freezer is chicken because that's what we eat the most of. But like I'll have one shelf of pork, one shelf of beef, and the rest is chicken. So what I do is this shelf up here is all new chicken. So I'm using the chicken down below first. Then when this chicken is gone, I'm going to refill it and use the chopped chicken next. So it's always being rotated. It's not complicated. I think the easiest thing that people can do, but nobody ever does, is to make a shelf for each
Type of food
group. And you don't have to be freezing 35 different things. In my freezer, I have boneless, skinless chicken breast. I have roasts. I have pork chops. I have butter, cheese, pizzas, and frozen cherries because they were super cheap. That's all. I mean, I don't have a lot. Oh, and applesauce left over from last year that I need to get used up.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Just find a system that'll work. I also noticed on that ad, you may be going to mention it, but be sure, like this week, I saw they had corn on the cob. It's 4th of July here. So every place has potato chips, although hamburger, corn on the cob, watermelons on sale this week, ketchup, mustard, hot dogs, hot dog buns, those types of things. So watch your ads and stock up on those things, this week.
So like, even though even though hamburger buns are on sale this week, I'm not going to fill my freezer with hamburger buns. I'm going to fill my freezer with the hamburgers that I got for $2.70 a pound. And then I'll just buy the hot hamburger buns at regular price.
More expensive.
Winnie wants to know, if you freeze milk and then thaw it out, doesn't it taste like water after you thaw it out? No. You just shake it up.
You have to shake it because the cream separates from, it's still fine, but you got to shake it hard and really good.
Really shake it up well. And I mean, I would even go, so if you can't shake it, pour it into a container, use your immersion blender, just blend it back up. What happens is the fat separates from the water in the milk. And all you're doing is just rehomogenizing it.
And another thing I found, and I don't understand why this works this way, I put my milk in my freezer, top freezer, my kitchen refrigerators where I froze my milk. And my mom put hers in her kitchen freezer. But when she put the milk out in the big freezer out in the garage, it separated. Mine in my regular refrigerator,
true. I don't know why.
Never separated. But when I moved here, put it in this my regular refrigerator here, it separated. So I'm not sure what causes that, because that happens sometimes. So if you're having trouble, you might try, if you have the two freezers, to try to freeze it in the other one and see what happens.
Yeah. Guys, it is our 25th anniversary sale this month. 25 years ago for my birthday, Mike bought me my first website domain for my cookbook that was coming out in October. Dining on a Dime cookbooks.
I remember that.
Are on sale for 40% off for our 25th anniversary sale. This is our volume 1. This is our volume 2. And this is our gluten-free, dairy-free edition. Also, all of our ebooks are on sale. Guys, it's easy recipes to get you in and out of the kitchen quick that your family will love. Made sure that the recipes were quick. I don't like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I have fibromyalgia. I just don't do it. Peggy wants to know, you can get the link in the description below or go to livingonadime.com. Peggy wants to know, can you freeze cheese? Yes. I just throw it in there and take it out and put it in the fridge, and it's just fine.
Now, Tara freezes a lot of stuff. I just, if I'm going to eat it, I will freeze the cheese that I'm going to put in a casserole or melt on something. But I don't always freeze the cheese I'm going to put in a sandwich or something. It just depends on,
But I never use it for sandwiches. So
yeah,
that's why
it just depends on what you use
Chrissy
it for.
says she does that, but her husband goes in and messes it up. Believe me, I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. And so that's why you may have to, every 2 weeks, just go in and rearrange.
Or when you bring home the groceries from the store, just here's the thing. Don't do big rearrangements. Don't do big organizing things.
Yeah.
Organize that one shelf. When you bring home your frozen stuff, organize that one shelf. If you just do it every single time you bring stuff home, it's not going to take you long. Today, I had a spill in my freezer. I am not kidding. The door got left open. Something melted and went all over the bottom. It has been there at least 6 months. And it took me literally 3 minutes to clean up. Seriously? You know, I mean, really, put it in perspective, people.
But that's
so but if you're organized in the first place, getting reorganized is not going to be hard.
That's what I was going to say. What I do is I usually do it the day before I go to the grocery store, because then I can see what I have exactly, and it's all ready and clean, so that when I come the next day from the grocery store, I just slide it in the slots where it needs to go, because I hate going to the grocery store and I'm usually tired, so I do it that way.
Olympia says we're traveling on the 7th and won't be back until the 23rd. That's almost 2 months. I'm thinking of defrosting the chest freezer and leaving it unplugged until we come back. Go for it.
Yeah.
And clean the coils and everything. Clean it out and everything when you're done. Yeah, fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have stuff in there. Also, when you have empty holes, fill it with soda bottles or milk jugs with water. Then you won't use so much power. And if your power happens to go out, it will keep it frozen. And Jay says, I have a chest freezer and use different colored bags for different food. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy says, I froze 26 pounds of butter in December at $1.99. Don't know when I will need to buy butter again. Also can't stand it if my refrigerator and pantries aren't organized. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, Tyler from Generation 2434.
Hi, hello. Tyler.
I was just watching you.
I watch you all the time, Tyler.
Watching you guys. I think I'm going to do a video how to prepare for the end of the world. I think I'm going to do that video because it's coming.
You guys go watch Tyler. If you want to know anything about, end times, revelation type stuff and everything, go watch Tyler.
He's our bud.
Good.
We love Tyler.
He's really good.
Okay. Let's see. Olympia, we will be moving everything into 2 refrigerators. Good job.
Very good.
Greatest ever says Kerrygold butter is far superior to any other kind I've bought before. It's expensive, but worth it. Yeah, if you have the money, it's fine. But frankly, $8 versus $2. I've had Kerrygold and I've had Walmart. It doesn't taste that much better. Sorry. But,
if you're deep in debt and you're having problems, you probably may have to give it up for a while.
If all your bills are paid, your retirement's funded, your house is paid off, you have no debt, you buy whatever you want.
Whatever you want, yeah.
I don't care. Joyce says, I love to buy bulk butter, a 25K block. So 25 kilograms. That would be 50-pound block. Last week for $11. Oh, $11 for 2 pounds. Oh, that's expensive for here. Holy cow. But it must be a good deal where you're at for kilograms. Yeah. All right. Mike made it back.
Mike wasn't here, guys.
He wasn't here. Are you going to live?
Hopefully.
Oh, no. I don't get to cash in on the life insurance. What? I better be careful. If you actually go, they're gonna
oh no.
They're going to wonder what I did. All right. Let's see. Joy says she freezes sandwich cheese after she sliced it with cereal wrappers. Yep, that's a good idea. Thank you, everyone, for the 25-year congratulations. It's been a long 25 years. Woo.
I was younger than you were 25 years ago, just about.
You were younger than me.
Almost.
25 years ago. So how old are you now?
73.
Oops, clear. 73 minus 25, because I can't do math. 48. You were younger than me 25 years ago.
I was a young thing.
There you go. Generation 2434 says, how to prepare for the world to end. Just Jesus. I know.
I know.
It's so simple, but people make it complicated.
I know.
Patricia, my husband is worried about hard times, so he has filled 4 freezers with so much meat. I have a hard time rotating through and defrosting. Holy cow.
Yeah.
If there's just 2 of you, that's a lot
that
of
is
meat.
hard. Yeah.
That's a lot of meat.
There has to be a little bit of balance, maybe, for sometimes
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Wow. Karen says, be careful to carry gold butter because it's been said the wrapper that the butter is in has cancer-causing chemicals. Oh, brother. That's the state of California. Oh, Janet, is it cheaper to shred cheese or buy it shredded? It's actually not cheaper necessarily to buy it already. I mean, to buy it in the block and shred it.
Yeah,
that's a big myth.
Yeah,
it used to be, but not anymore.
Just look when you go to the store. I look and I see the package of 8 ounces that's shredded and the bar that's, and they're the same price. So that's how you can tell real easy. Just look at the 8 ounce and see.
All right. Number 2, ask the meat market when prices are marked down. Now, I don't usually ask. I just usually figure it out. Like mine marks it down in the morning. I just notice every place that I've moved when they mark it down. In Texas, they marked it down at night. So I would grocery shop at night. Here, they mark it down in the morning. Kansas, they marked it down in the morning. In Idaho, they never marked it down because it was Idaho and you were just glad to have food. So, but meat's not getting marked down as much as it used to be, but you can still find good deals. So, like the best deal I ever found was after New Year's, like, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago. No longer than that. We were in Kansas because I gave it to you guys. So 15 years ago in Kansas after New Year's, or no, after Christmas. After Christmas. They were closed on Christmas Day, and I came in and they had hamburger for $1 a pound, which even back then was cheap. And it was in 1 pound rolls, which is really nice. You don't have to separate it or anything. And I bought 100 pounds and I split it up between Mom and my sister-in-law, and we all had hamburger for a long time. And I like the 4th of July one year, Memorial Day another year is when I got hamburger and I got ribs for $1 a pound. One year I got ribs for 50 cents a pound. Now, you may not find prices like that now, but you might get, $1.50 a pound. So just look, because a lot of times what happens is stores will buy extra for these holidays and they don't sell them. And then they just got to get rid of them. So find out when they're going to be on clearance.
And we'll probably have somebody say, I never see anything on clearance. And or our store doesn't ever mark them down on clearance. So if that's the case, then what you do is figure out, what else can I do? I can learn to stretch my meat more. And then we have a whole section of stuff on how to, we have it in the book too, different recipes where you can stretch your meat. That just means you maybe can't get it marked down. So you're going to have to learn how to stretch the meat, make it go farther, or have meals without meat, once in a while.
Yeah. Wanda says, I heard that some people rinse shred cheese off with water. It's supposed to get the coating off of it. Yeah, but that's, why would you
off
do
of
that?
What?
Shredded cheese. Guys, just leave the cheese alone. I know people are saying that it's coated with wood chips and shavings and all that. Even if it is, that absolute minute amount of wood pulp that you're going to be eating, you're just going to poop it out.
Is wood pulp dangerous?
You are.
I know.
You probably eat more just in your vegetables.
Just consider it a vegetable, part of your vegetable that you're
added
getting
fiber.
For the
Added fiber.
But you know what? On the freezing of the cheese, look at your cheese. I bought cheese this past week, and the expiration date on it is December. So why bother to freeze it? If you've got more room in your refrigerator, just keep it in the refrigerator. I've never frozen cheese just because the date is the expiration. I use it up before the expiration date is, and I just keep moving it out, because what I'll do is I'll use so much in the next 2 weeks, and then they'll have another sale on cheese. So I buy more, and that just keeps extending it. So you probably don't even have to worry about freezing it if you look at the expiration date.
Let's see.
And why I looked at the expiration date too, didn't mean to interrupt you, but a couple of years we've had trouble, maybe not sure if things are going to get shipped in to where we live now, for Christmas and stuff. So this time of year, I'm starting to look for cheeses, special cheeses that we'll have for Christmas. And maybe in a month or two, I will be buying the cheeses for Christmas to make sure we have our special cheeses for Christmas in case we don't get it in.
Yep. Kathy says, please hit the thumbs up. It's free and it helps our channel. Yes, it does, guys.
That
Please
little thumbs
that.
up underneath our picture, guys.
All right, guys. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbooks. It is our 25th anniversary, and we have our cookbooks on sale for the entire month of July. No one can say they didn't get their check in. No one can say they missed a payday, because you have the entire month. We did the entire, you can't say you're on vacation. The entire month of July, it's going to be 40% off, because we are celebrating. Are we celebrating that we've been doing this 25 years? I'm not quite sure if we're celebrating that we've been doing this 25 years.
Celebrate that,
but it is the 25th anniversary of our cookbook. So that link is in the description below. Easy recipes to get you in and out of the kitchen quick. The next tip is check the clearance aisles. Now, our Walmart has a specific clearance aisle, but what I noticed is those prices aren't actually the best deals. The best deals are when I'm walking up and down the aisle. They just mark stuff on clearance, and it's even cheaper than their special clearance section. Check the clearance aisles. At my other grocery store called Ridley's, one time I looked and they had Kool-Aid for 10 cents a pack. Guess what we have every get-together now? I don't care if it is the 4th of July. We're having green Kool-Aid tomorrow. We're having green Kool-Aid. It was 10 cents a pack. That is way cheaper.
Serve it in a red pitcher or blue pitcher. That'll count then. For those of you in other countries, we usually do red, white, and blue for our 4th of July.
So walk up and down. Don't just wander up and down the aisles. I don't just wander up and down every single aisle in Walmart when I go shopping, despite what you guys think. Just as I'm picking up stuff, if I notice a clearance tag, then I look and see if it's on sale. The next thing is use our Dining on a Dime cookbooks, guys. Cook at home. How to cook. If you want to learn how to cook, this is it right here. This is step 1. This is step 2. And this is gluten-free, dairy-free for those of you who have issues like me. That is the place to start. Easy recipes, few ingredients. Most of them have 5 ingredients or less. Our honey baked chicken, maple glazed chicken, how to make pancakes, scrambled eggs, taco seasoning, fajitas, all those things. But if you start cooking at home, you're going to start saving on your grocery bill by not eating out all the time.
And you might start losing weight. I mean, really. Because a lot of times when you go out to eat, you pile, get a huge order of something, and, you want to eat it because you paid for it and everything, because people don't always take it home. So, another thing about our book, I was thinking about this the other day of how to explain it to people. I don't know if any of you have seen at like a garage sale or a thrift store, these big fat cookbooks from the 1940s where you look at, they explain how to do all kinds of stuff in there. That's kind of what our cookbook is like. We just don't have one recipe with a big picture on the other page. We do have some pictures in there, but we have explained how to cook rice. We explain how to, make pie dough. We explain how to do stuff. And then what we don't have in there, we've got the recipe, and you can connect it to a video, a lot of videos that we have on how to do this stuff.
Doodle Toot says they have free overripe bananas at our small town grocery store. Oh, that's great.
Wow, that's good.
Karen says, well, isn't blue cheese made from moldy cheese? Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is, definitely. Well, all cheese is moldy, but number 5, keep your eyes open when you walk up and down the aisle and notice any changes. So what do I mean by that? So I kid you not. One day I was standing looking at pancake mix. It was the same exact pancake mix. And then, right before that, a viewer had sent me a picture showing me this pancake mix. So I was standing there looking at the pancake mix, and I saw the same exact thing. Same pancake mix here, same pancake mix there. 2 different UPCs, and they were $2 difference in price.
Wow.
Same exact thing. Same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, well, okay, I'm sure. And then another thing, like, was it Kimberly? I think maybe Kimberly. I can't remember. Sent me a video where at Walmart, it had chicken, I think is what it was. And it said like $2.98 a pound. And it was 2 pounds, but it was $15.
Oh my word.
You guys see the problem there?
Even you not doing math, you know that
Even
that's
I'm
a
not
problem.
doing math, knowing that's like 2-3 times the price. So check and make sure that your prices are correct and that they haven't changed things, or if they have changed things, you know that it's a correct change and it's not some mistake or something.
Well, and that's another thing about going to save at the grocery store. Try not to go. I know this isn't always possible, but try to go without your kids and without your husband if you possibly can. Don't go hungry. Try not to go when you're just so exhausted you need to get in and out, because you need to. This is like any other job. Think of this: buying groceries, cleaning your house, running a home, like any other job. You have to think clearly. You have to be business minded, and you've got to look at this stuff, check it out. We just lollygag along taking care of our home and doing grocery shopping and cleaning the house like it's just, oh, we got to do this again today. Well, you got to go to work again today. A lot of people do, so start taking it more seriously and go when you're fresh. I usually go in the morning because that's when my mind's the sharpest. Some people are night people, so it may be better for you to go when hubby can watch the kids at night. But go when you're sharp so you can look at this stuff and watch for this stuff,
Yep.
and that type of thing.
Post your comments and questions in the comment box and Mike will send them to me, but I was going to answer this one because we're talking about learning how to cook. Joanne says, good, because I don't know how to cook plain regular rice. The recipe is in here, and I am posting a link right here to our website in the comments for the rice recipe. You can go to our website and find it there also, because it's like easy. Rice is like one of the easiest things, and people say, oh, it's so hard. No, it's so easy.
Well, I think we explain how to do mashed potatoes, don't we, in there?
Mm-hmm.
Simple things like mashed potatoes, but we have really good recipes that if you're an experienced cook, that you could, that you will love too. We cover the whole gamut.
So easy, even Mike can do it.
So even Mike can do it. That's the one thing he cooks all the time. All right, the next thing is use our price book. Now, this is on sale also, but guys, keep track of your prices. All it is just putting the store up here, and then I just do 3 stores. This is my price over here that I normally pay. Updated for 2024. Probably should update it again because roast is like $3.49 now. But I live in a super expensive town. So I know on these prices, I know people have been getting roast for $2.99 and chicken breasts for $1.49. So what you do is you just pencil in the price. And then if it goes lower, pencil it in with a date so you know that's your stock up price. And then you're always paying the lowest price for your groceries.
Now, some of you that have been with us for a while, if you don't mind, pop on here and let us know what you like about the cookbook, because Tara and I can't, while we're doing the comments and stuff, don't always think of things that people might like in there where you guys, you might have something special that you liked about the cookbook, and that would help us, to remember stuff and things too. So if you'd pop in the comments and let us know what you like, a recipe or different things we show how to cook in there or something.
Number 7, test store brand versus name brand without telling your family. Do they really know the difference? Yes, Mike knows the difference on Hershey syrup, but he likes my homemade Hershey syrup, volume 1. My recipe for Hershey syrup, he absolutely loves that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a lot cheaper than Hershey syrup is now. Holy moly.
Know.
It's like $5 a bottle now. Sorry, dear. I don't love you that much.
But it's on sale this week. So I noticed
I
it was
don't love
on
them
sale.
that much. I'll make you your Hershey syrup.
Poor Mike.
But most of the time, the family is not going to be able to tell. Ranch dressings, we can tell. But once again, our ranch dressing recipe in here is super delicious. I know people who say they will only use our ranch dressing.
On the ranch dressing, you take the spices for the ranch dressing. Don't add it to the mayonnaise or the sour cream or whatever it is to add it to, but take and mix up those spices. And what I do is I keep a packet, a container of those spices. And now whenever I make like a potato salad or pasta salad or something like that, I sprinkle some of those spices on my potato salads and pasta salads.
Yep.
And it adds the best flavor ever. And you can keep the powdered spices too then to make up for a dip, at some other time. And the powdered spices last longer. That's why I'm saying to do that. I was buying a bottle of ranch dressing and it was just going to waste on me because I didn't use it up fast enough. Where with the powdered stuff, it lasts longer if you're by yourself or there's just one or two of you.
Then along that lines, Mike, you can send me the comments, questions. Along that lines, try different brands. Just try something different.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be sneaking behind your family's back or anything. I mean, well, if they're that persnickety, I would. But but just try something different. Maybe you're so used to using Hidden Valley that you didn't know that whatever the other brand is might taste just as good. It just might taste as good. And a lot of stores have money back guarantees that if you don't like it, you can return it. I know Aldi used to. I think they still do. But a lot of stores that if you don't like a product, you can return it and get your money back.
And along that same line, you might try to, what I do is like, I love Folgers coffee. Thank goodness, because it's one of the cheaper ones. I can get it on sale for pretty cheap still. But sometimes we'll go on vacation. We get all these packets of coffees from the motel room and stuff like that. And I don't care for those as much, or the little pouch things that come in the little cup things. I don't have a coffee maker to use that. But what I do is instead of saying, oh, I don't like that, so I'm just not going to use them, I will take and maybe have 2 to 3 cups of my coffee, and then I'll put in a half a cup or a cup of the other stuff and mix it all together. And then by doing part of it that way, I get mostly the flavor of the Folgers, but yet it stretches my coffee out. So you can start adding little bits of stuff that is cheaper that maybe you don't like as well. And you'd be surprised. Now I'm getting really used to doing, the other little bits. So try stuff like that. This is all ways to stretch your money if you can't find sales and stuff like that as much.
The next thing is cut up your own fruits and vegetables. Did you know that the number one thing in the store is the prepackaged chips and the pre-cut fruits and vegetables? Seriously? Just cut up your own fruits and vegetables, guys. They are 2 of the most expensive things in the store, and they are 2 of the easiest things that you can do at home. It really doesn't take that long to cut up fruits and vegetables. I need to actually sit down and do a video where I time cutting this stuff up and showing how quick it actually is. Because if you calculate that into the amount of time that you work, really a lot of times you're not saving money.
Yeah.
And the next one is make your own lunches. Stop making the Lunchables or buying the Lunchables. Make your own Lunchables. It's 6 crackers and 6 little pieces of cheese, which equals 1 piece of cheese we measured. I did a whole video on Lunchables because it's insane what people do. I
was at a ladies' thing. Several ladies were there, probably about 10 to 12. And I took my lunch. It was going to be an all-day thing. And I took my lunch. And there was a couple of others that took their lunches too. But the rest of them went and took off in the car and went to a place to buy their lunches and bring them back to eat with us and all. And I was so shocked because one lady went and bought, they were wraps, but they were about this tall and they were about this big around. I'd never seen wraps quite that big before. And she got 2 of them. And then she got a container of soup. And then she got a drink. So it was minimum $15 because it was from a real fancier.
It was more than that. If that's what she got.
It was from a real fancy restaurant. And she ate about half of one of the wraps and about half of the soup. And so the rest of it she threw in the trash. This is probably the biggest
Mom
tip.
had to take her nitroglycerin at that point.
I about died. She threw it in the trash, and everybody else, they had got their styrofoam containers, and some of them ate most of it, but some of them left parts of it, and it all went in the trash. I'm not kidding when I say 50% of what the average person spends on groceries goes in the trash. As a matter of fact, we've been saying this for 25 years. And then about, 5 years ago or something like that, maybe 10 years ago, guess what? The government came out with a study that showed that most American families throw away 50% of their groceries that they buy. And we've been saying that for years and years and years. So if you just do that one thing alone and start using your leftovers, take your lunch, and if your kid has an apple in his lunch, have him bring it home. Don't have him throw it away, in the trash. You guys never threw your food away, did you, when you took lunches?
No.
You always just put it back.
But you gave us
didn't
food
eat.
that we ate.
Well, and make sure you don't give them too much, and you give them stuff that they'll eat and not throw away, but not too much. So
yeah. And I saw a comment. Let's see, where'd it go? Oh, yeah. Wanda said, I don't have the strength to cut up fruits and vegetables. I am not talking about that situation. Let me tell you, when I say these things, I'm talking about the majority, and you know this, Wanda, but the 95% of the people who go in there can cut up their own fruits and vegetables. If you have some sort of a disability or ailment, or you just had arm surgery or something, please buy all the convenience food you can. It's way cheaper than eating out. I'd rather have you buy all the pre-cut fruits and vegetables than going out to eat. So that situation, I totally understand, and I'm good with that.
I agree with that too. But if you just don't have the money to buy those pre-cut things, when we first got sick, the only fruits and vegetables I bought was bananas and apples, because as a matter of fact, there were days I couldn't even peel that banana. I wouldn't even eat a banana because it took too much to peel. And the apple, I think, do I have the strength in my mouth to bite in an apple? But I couldn't buy an orange because I couldn't peel an orange. It took too much strength for us. So you may have to get down to where you're just eating bananas that you don't have to cut up, or an apple that you don't have to cut up, and do that for a while until you get better or get your strength or whatever.
Okay, type 1 guys, if you guys are finding this helpful, let us know. Rebecca says, good evening from Calander, Canada. I don't know how you say that.
Calgary.
No.
Oh, it's not Calgary. I don't have my glasses on.
Calander, Canada. And a happy holiday for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Janet, I made your one pot hamburger helper from volume 2. It is so good. Thank you. That video is actually coming out tomorrow's video on my other channel, Super Easy Recipes. It's going to be, I'm doing a compilation of cheap, easy dinners tomorrow. And that one is the second video in that. I just finished editing it a couple of hours ago. Janet, Kimberly, hello from Wisconsin. She's making dinner right now, so she'll be listening. She's making cheeseburgers and fries. Yep.
Sounds good.
And Donna says we organize by shelf and meat and fill in with other stuff on the doors and freezer bins. Yep, that's what I do. Chrissy, she cleans her freezer before she goes to the store. Yep. And Amanda says, hey, y'all, don't know if you remember me, but I'm the mom with the twins. The one twin has autism. He absolutely loves you guys, so God bless you. Hello, Amanda's son. Wendy,
Sweet.
if you freeze meal, or wait, some of these questions, let's see, I already got, because Mike was just getting here. Olympia's got that one. Joyce says, got Joyce too, got Nancy's. Sorry, guys. We'll get back up to par here. Okay, Patricia says, my husband is worried about hard times, so he feels, oh no, we got that one too. The 4 freezers.
Mike was gone to the dentist for a little bit.
Yeah.
So when we first started the show, that's why she's
Just Vicky says wood chips are all natural, extra fiber. Nita says, yeah. Guys, it is so little in there. Quite frankly, if you're worried about that, you need to go get busier.
Actually, if you're worried about
too
that,
much time on your
you're
hands.
going to have cancer or heart attack faster. Any doctor will tell you stressing over that stuff is going to cause you to get sick faster than the actual stuff would.
Yeah. I mean, you should be stressed like me using radiation-filled salt shakers and bowls
I
for the
told
last
Grandma about
50
that.
years of my life.
She was laughing. I'm thinking, my mom used that silly
It explains everything.
cookie jar.
It explains everything.
And she's 96 years old. And
it explains it all.
You know, that's another thing, real quick, while you're looking.
Kills all the disease and everything.
I find it interesting because talking about Grandma, I was thinking today when I went to this ladies, not this one, but other ladies groups and different get-togethers for different things. I noticed everybody's kind of worrying about, well, this one family I went to not too long ago. They were a whole family together. And they were the type that they worried about if they ate organic or if it had this in it or it had preservatives or it had, you know, these chemicals or whatever. And that's the type they were. And they had this table full of food. And I was thinking every single one of them was extremely overweight. I mean, unhealthy overweight. And yet they were sitting there worrying about that type of stuff. But then I went straight from there and I was thinking, it wasn't that long ago, I was at my mom's at the her nursing home where she's at now. And I went down to the dining room with her every day to eat. And there was like 5 ladies at our table. Not one of them, of these older gals, was overweight. And they were ordering bologna sandwiches. And they were ordering all this, you know, stuff that's
cheese fries.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the tree to come falling down.
It's storming. It's getting ready to storm in here.
And I'm watching my tree
see the tree
out the window.
And you know, all this. Oh, and they'd have these wonderful desserts, and then they were eating these big old chocolate chip cookies. They got that plus the dessert at the end of the meal. None of them were overweight. They just kind of watched the amount that they were eating. And I could tell these gals, the way they were talking, because they knew that I was a cookbook author, they were talking. This is how they'd eaten all their life. And they're 85 and they're 90, in their 90s and stuff. And they're doing pretty good. They were doing pretty good. So I look at common sense, logical stuff when I see this stuff. Stay off the internet and picking up these little tidbits people keep spitting out there that aren't always correct, you know.
Ingrid says, I've cut the mold off of cheese and eat it. Yes. Cheese is made with mold. They cut it off before they send it to you. That's exactly what it is.
If it crashes through, it'll be something. I bet you this will go viral.
Yeah, but we won't catch it on camera, so I'm trying to decide, do I move the camera?
If you want us to angle the camera so they can catch it.
Mike, get your phone ready.
If it hits Tar and I just start filming, Mike, don't worry about us.
Michael says, I will be buying your gluten-free cookbook for my daughter. Yay, she will love it. Thank you. Kathy says, I love my cookbooks. I also have Volume 1 in the digital version. I printed the recipe and took a store with me and share it with dish to give away. Very good. I tape the recipe to it when she makes a dish.
That's good.
Joy says, so Walmart is a grocery store. I thought maybe it was clothes and home. So it used to be only clothes and home. And then about 20 years ago, they started adding a grocery center and having a super center. And so now it's this ridiculously huge
monster store.
You can't just go in and get a thing of milk because you have to hike to the far end of the store. So yes, it is. It's food. Half of the store is groceries and half of the store is clothes and housewares. Greatest ever says, my chiropractor suggests an elimination diet. We immediately stopped eating out. I still like some Taco Bell from time to time. Yep. That'll clear the colon for you.
I love
Just
Taco
Vicky.
Bell. It's one of my favorites.
She loves old cookbooks and, of course, our cookbooks too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wanda, I found that shredded cheese goes bad quicker than block cheese. Yes, because
does.
it's smaller, so that
Mhm.
makes sense. Barbara says cellulose is known as wood pulp, but it's derived from green plants. It's not really wood. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Beth says she always checks the clearance aisles. Jacqueline says she's gained weight because our recipes are so good. Don't say that. That's not good. Joanne, let's see. Crescent says I use muffin mix for pancakes. Yes, that would be very delicious. Tanya says I'm hoping to have my house paid off next spring. I plan on stacking my freezer for the winter. Is it wise to let my stockpile run down the last month or so? No, I mean, you don't need to let your stockpile run down. You can if you want to. If you just specifically have stuff you really need to use it up. But with a stockpile, it's really not a matter of running it down and filling it back up. It's a matter of always continually rotating out so it's always full. Now, my stockpile has gotten down lately just because I haven't been going to the grocery store. So I was just thinking today, wow, I got to go get some stuff, especially after the presidential debates last Thursday.
Well, see, like this week now, I used a can of tomato soup, a can of enchilada sauce, and a couple of things like that. So what I did, I immediately wrote them on my grocery list. So I'll either wait until they go on sale, or if I know it's something that doesn't go on sale very often, I'll just go ahead and pick it up this next week, and I'll just keep rotating. Every time I use something out of my pantry, I add it to my grocery list. Then I rebuy it and just keep it going like that.
Next comment is Kathy. Where they place items matters too. For example, corn or condiments by the meat may cost more. Yep, you are right. Greatest ever, check a receipt. Yes. I catch double rings and mistakes 75% of the time. Me too. Yep.
Yeah.
And Kathy loves that our cookbook lays flat. Yes, this is a brand new cookbook. We have a special binding, and you can see here where I'm on page 8 and see how flat it lays. We did a special binding so it would lay flat on any page in the book.
We worked so hard to get that binding to lay flat like that. I remember us practicing with the books over and over.
Olympia says, I put my receipts on Fetch. It's an app to collect points on things you buy. Yep. And then you get gift cards. Yep. Ingrid says, just wondering if it's better to make casseroles for the family than a meal with a piece of meat and 2 sides. I mean, it just depends. It just depends on what your family eats. Like last night, I just had pork chops, onions, and carrots cut up, and I just put it on a sheet pan and I just baked it.
Casseroles can stretch your meat like hamburger and chicken.
But they can be more expensive when you start adding all the cheese. If you start adding
special cheeses and sauces and stuff like that to it. So you have to just kind of balance it out. Now, the thing is, when you serve like meat and sides, a couple of things. I always would fix my husband 2 pieces of meat, and he didn't always need that much, but if it was small pieces of chicken or something, I fixed him 2 pieces. The kids each got 1 piece of meat when they were younger, and then I got 1 piece of meat. And so that's all I fixed for us. Sometimes I'd make extra, but if I made extra, I wouldn't put it on the table. They have proven time and time again, let's say you think, okay, I'm going to fry up or cook up enough chicken to last for 2 days, and you take all that chicken and you put it on a platter and set it on the table, and the family sits down. They said psychologically they've done this over and over again. They've watched especially guys, but the kids and men will take, and they'll just keep eating off of that plate. As long as they see plates of food on the table, they'll keep eating it. So they said it's better to have the food sitting like on the counter or on the stove, so they have to get up and walk over to get seconds, or not to even have it out at all if you don't, just have a certain amount out. But if they have to walk over to that counter to get seconds, it's really funny. They'll sit there and it's over there in the kitchen, so they're not sure they want to take the energy to go get it. So that's another way, if you find your family just inhaling all the food on the table, to try something like that. They have to dish it up from another area.
Georgina says she bought the gluten-free cookbook for her neighbors, friends,
Oh,
and
thank
she
you.
uses it all the time. She loves it. Thank you. And Sue says that the best thing about the Diane Dime cookbooks, so this is volume 1 and this is volume 2, is that she loves the limited number of ingredients. Yes, most
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
I didn't
recipes
think
are
about that.
5 or 6
Mhm.
ingredients or less. I don't
Yeah,
have a huge string of ingredients.
we
for
tried to
most
be
of them.
careful on that. Yeah.
Karen says she has liked everything she has tried so far. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Amanda loves the cheddar muffins. We're a hit with the family. Did you guys see my video? A couple on super easy recipes. My other channel is super easy recipes. I didn't even come close to following the recipe right, but see, they still turned out. They still turned out.
Not saying anything.
They still turned out. Patricia loves my banana cake and the peanut butter cookies and the meatloaf too. All right. It was Gail. She said she was watering her garden. Let's talk about gardens for a moment, shall we?
Do I get to talk about quilts?
No.
That's no fair.
As I'm waiting for the hail to pummel my garden,
Oh,
I have just about
just a
given
second.
up this year.
When we were walking in, I felt so bad for Tar. She said, look it. And she had all these pretty plants, you know, nice tall geraniums and all these other flowers. And she said, look it, she had what was it, 6 foot long plot or
6 by 3 foot section.
Yeah, section. And she said, and look at all the flowers in here look like those that were like this tall just the other day.
2 days ago, I planted it. I have been nursing these stupid zinnias since March. I have been growing these stupid
it wasn't
things.
funny. But
Put
she
them in
said
the ground, and 2 days ago, the deer shredded them.
they're about this tall. They're just about, you see 2 little leaves or 1 little leaf and a little tiny stick stem on this whole 6 foot by
you're
3.
laughing.
I didn't mean to laugh. I was
I'm having
horrified.
deer
It's
stew tonight. I
awful.
don't care.
Huh?
They are-
Just look like little clovers on the ground.
They do look like little clovers in the ground, Mike said.
I am just,
Oh, I felt so bad. You should see it. It looks beautiful what she's got out there, but oh my goodness.
I'm just about had it. I'm so mad. Well, and here we were supposed to be putting up a fence for my big garden this weekend. But now tomorrow we're going to Billings to look at a car. So probably not going to be doing that now. If we buy the car, there goes my fence. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. And let's see.
Oh my
Sorry.
goodness.
There. Mike said, oh, Mike's sending me stuff on my so have we been glowing this whole time and we didn't know? See, that's how our skin is so good, because we've been using radiated dishes all my life.
So now we glow. That's a secret. Our
It
secret.
says uranium cannot be rubbed off the glass, so it's safe to use for regular when undamaged. If it breaks, however, then it's best to dispose
Yeah,
of it.
that makes sense.
I'm still not going to use it. You know why I'm not going to use it, though? It actually doesn't have anything to do with that. I can't get the stupid lid off.
Yeah.
I have to basically get pliers every time to get those old lids off. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use the excuse that these things are poisoning us. And today, Jack and I made my own salt shaker. And I'm just going to be using that from now on. Kathy says, I love it that it lays flat and wipes off well. Yes, we also have a special paper that's glossier. She lays a piece of saran wrap over the page using to keep it clean because I'm a messy cook. Yes, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Connie says, congratulations on 25 years. Thank you. Olympia, I had a container of ground turkey for $3.99, used half for the dog food and other half for taco seasoning, and I made a taco salad. There you go.
Mm-hmm. That's a new one.
Okay.
New way to do it.
Seeking Joy says, Aldi still will let you return items when you give, and will give you a free item as well. There you go.
Mm.
Michael says, another great deal I recently got was 4-pound packages of ground turkey for $5. Ooh,
That's good.
Kathy, 25 years. Wow. Between you and Jill, you have over 100 years of experience. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh, thanks. That makes me feel old now.
Stacy, hello from Canada. She loves us. Thank you. She loves the
Thanks.
tips in the books. Helped her over the years. She's about to start the journey of not coloring her hair. Hey, just go for it.
Mhm.
I don't know why people make such a big deal out of this.
It goes faster than what you think, too.
It
grows
did take
out.
me 2 years to completely grow it out, but I don't think I looked like
But
a
it-
complete
no, it
hag
didn't
when
look-
I was doing
It
it
didn't
either.
look bad the whole 2
And-
years. That's why I said it's not as bad as what you think.
There's lots of tips and tricks that you can do. Like for the first 3 or 4 months, you can wear a scarf, color your hat. You can get that spray stuff in that washes out while you're growing it out. You
Mhm.
can go ahead and have it. This is expensive, but you can go ahead and just have it dyed your color after you get it, partly grown out. Then you can have it dyed if you want. There's so many things that you can do. You can just keep it pulled up and nobody will notice. I mean,
I never.
the first 3 months was the hardest. And all I did was wore a scarf, or it's not a scarf, a bandana, and nobody even really cared.
I don't remember mine having trouble growing mine out.
Well, you never dyed yours that much.
No, I didn't dye mine. I never dyed it, I guess.
Cheryl
I was
says,
blonde, so that probably helped too.
I'm a Duke's mayonnaise snob. Can't give it up, but it's fairly cheap in my grocery store. Yes, I have become one also myself after my mayonnaise test. It is very delicious. It is very delicious. Peggy, I always buy Folgers coffee and use tea bags for iced tea. It's cheaper. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm back to the hair color thing. If you dye your hair, who cares? Everybody thinks I'm like yelling at people that they don't have to dye your hair. I don't care what you do with your hair. But if you can't afford to go to the salon and
Just-
have all this stuff
Just
done,
dye it at home.
then you need to do it at home yourself.
Mhm, save.
Jacqueline says, we don't have cultured buttermilk in Canada. At least it doesn't say cultured on the container. Can I use yogurt instead? Yes, you can. Midwest says pre-made sandwiches too. I was out yesterday. I was going to grab a sandwich, $9. I know.
Goodness.
Oh my goodness. We went to Yellowstone this weekend. Mike, how much was the sandwiches? You're on camera. How much was the sandwiches at that deli place? They were ridiculous.
It was $11 each for basically a homemade sandwich.
There was nothing on it. There was nothing. I mean, I was so mad. We spent $35 for. Oh, he said it was $11 basically for what was basically just a homemade sandwich. There was nothing fancy about it at all. And we paid, well, we were supposed to have it for free and it ended up being a big to-do, but we ended up paying I am never going to Yellowstone again. $350 a night for a room where they were hollering at you about using the water. And then did they charge us $10 on the water, or was that somebody else, Mike? Was that the place that charged us? Here, you can look on camera.
Is that the place that charged us?
For what?
Or did they
Did they
charge?
charge us for water, or was that somebody else that said they got charged?
I don't remember anything about getting charged for water.
You told
You
me
told me somebody got charged $10 to be using the water too, but I couldn't remember.
Oh,
if
the
that
room
was-
had $10 on the bill for water. Yeah. Well, there were signs that say, please don't use any water. Don't use water to brush your teeth. Don't use water to shave, whatever. And then the bill came and it was like $10 for water for the day.
Yeah. They charged us $10 to use the water on a $350 a night. So then we went to go. It's a long story why we ended up staying another day, but we ended up staying another day. So Mike was trying to get another room and all they had was a queen bed and there was 3 of us. And Mike said, well, there's 3 of us. Queen bed's not going to quite work. She said, well, you can sleep on the floor. Mike's like, not for $380 a night. I'm not. Oh my goodness. I was like, seriously.
They had planned something totally different is what happened. So they had something less expensive already planned when they got there. They found out they couldn't do it.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
It was a mess.
Crazy.
it wasn't vacation either.
Yeah,
it was
was
not a fun
yeah.
trip. It was for
Yeah, it was for other things. But anyway, Elise, good tip on using powdered spices. She likes the idea of adding potatoes. Yeah, and while we were there, Mike had a dill pasta salad that was really good. And my dill dip right here in volume 1 would be really good in pasta salad. It would
yeah,
be the
and
same
that's
thing.
something good to do is keep some of those seasonings we have in there already made up. And then you can just start sprinkling them. Try them on other things besides just dip, and for dressings and stuff like that. You can use those spices if you like them in a dip or salad dressing. You might like them on some other things. Salads, just sprinkling them on a regular tossed salad or something.
Vicky says, wow, what an expensive trip. Okay, so let me tell you what happened with this trip. So we were going up to Yellowstone, and we were supposed to stay at a place. Well, found out, well, first of all, we get there at 5 o'clock and they said, well, you were supposed to be here at 3:30. We're like, okay, well, that memo didn't get sent to us. After we'd been traveling 11 hours, we had to take the extended route instead of taking the short route. We had to take the extended route because we were helping this person out. So we get there at 5. They told us we should be there at 3:30. So then we go to check in, and they were like, oh, well, there's 3 people here. Yeah. Well, you can only have 2 people. Okay. Well, let me see if we can do a cot. Okay, well, maybe we can do a cot. Whoa. Well, no. Nobody under 18 can stay here. Okay, what are we supposed to do with our son? So then they're like, okay, well, you'll just have to get a hotel. We're like, this is Yellowstone in the summer. Where are we supposed to get a hotel? So they're like, well, you could go to West Yellowstone. It's only a 4-hour drive.
After they'd already driven 11 hours.
So then we're sitting there, and I'm like, okay, it's a 5-hour drive home. I'm not going to spend $350 a night at West Yellowstone to drive there 4 hours, come back to the thing that we were doing, when we could just drive home and be done with it and just forget it. So we were looking, and we just happened to be, it was one of those things where I think they had like a cancellation that day or something, you know, the leftover rooms type thing. So that was the first night for $350. And then the second night was $380 because we ended up having to stay for another thing. Well, then we all got sick. Then I got really sick on the way home with the flu. So that was real pleasant coming home, having to stop every half hour. I hadn't eaten for like 2 days. So here we spent all this money on our vacation, and we didn't even have a vacation. I mean, it wasn't a vacation, but oh my goodness, the prices. There's the whole point of this. People keep saying the economy's so bad. News to me. We talked to several people, and they said this is going to be a record year. They're on track to be a record year for the most people ever
Vacationing
through Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
If you are so hard up for money and can't buy groceries, why are you taking these vacations? Mm-hmm. Now, I will say probably 60 to 70% of the people that were there were not Americans.
Oh.
So a lot of Americans aren't. They were all foreigners, or international travelers, however you want to say it politically correct now.
Correct now? I don't know.
Undocumented visitors. But they were just people traveling from overseas, from outside the U.S. And so maybe Americans aren't, but there was a lot of Americans there. And they were from New Jersey. I'm like, you drove all the way from New Jersey to come see this?
Michael was more impressed with it, I think, than Tara, but
I wasn't real impressed. But anyway, I wasn't impressed the first time we went 30 years ago on our honeymoon.
That was so funny, that honeymoon.
We picked the 1 week that Yellowstone was closed in October to go through Yellowstone on our honeymoon. It was awful, to say the least. So anyway,
I think every other day you guys called me. It was something else.
Doing that again. Noodle too. She likes the formats of the cookbooks. The recipes are easy and yummy. There are a page for you to write down the notes after each section, organizing tips, cleaning tips. Yep.
Thank you. That's good to know. That's why I say we forget. We get so used to this book, and we can't always remember some of the stuff, or even know some of the stuff that you guys like. So that's helpful.
And it is our 25th anniversary, so we have them on sale for 40% off in the description below, guys. You can go to livingonadime.com to get that. Donna, yes, she mixes her Folgers medium with a cheaper coffee on sale. Yep.
Mhm.
She cuts her own fruits and vegetables. Yep. Ingrid says she loves the Super Easy Recipes YouTube channel. You're the best, Tara. Thank you. Peggy, I'd never buy out Lunchables. They are outrageous. You know, the only time I bought out Lunchables was when they were on sale for the first day of school. I bought them then for my kids, but that was it. And they were 99 cents back then. I wouldn't buy them now.
Mhm.
Jacqueline says, can you make corn tortillas on Super Easy Recipes? I'm having problems making them. I wonder what you're having problems with. I'll see if I have any corn. I'll see if I have any mesa left. They're kind of a pain in the patootie to make corn tortillas. I don't really like making them, but I might. They stick. And I mean, you can make them, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't make them a lot, but the only reason I like the recipe in there is if we ever come into a situation where we can't get them for some reason, you
Yeah.
know.
We don't
I
have
would
corn in there. We just have flour, but yeah.
Yeah. And so at least I'd have a recipe that I could make them, you know, if we couldn't get them.
Mike, you can send me the next comments. Mary says they eat leftovers. Yes, very good.
And we do have a whole index in our cookbook of leftovers, so that if you have leftovers, say oatmeal, you can look up oatmeal in our leftover index, and then you can find what to do with that. If you have leftover blueberries, if you have leftover hamburger, or just all different kinds of stuff, you can look that up in our leftover recipe, and it'll show you a recipe or index. It'll show you a recipe then to use those leftovers in.
Yeah. Thank you, dear. Everybody is saying they like Panera's, but their sandwiches are getting thinner. Oh my. Donna, if they have a Dunkin' Donuts several blocks from her house, they're building a Starbucks across the street from Dunkin'. Oh my goodness. That's going to be fun.
I miss Dunkin' Donuts.
Cassie, although their donuts weren't the same. The last time I went there, it was awful.
At Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
The white ones with the
Yeah,
oh,
it was awful.
I love those things.
I mean, that was like 10 years, 15 years ago, but before.
What are the ones that we get in Denver or at Estes?
Oh, the Donut House.
Donut House.
Yeah.
Oh, if you guys are in Estes, get the Donut House donuts. Oh,
I am in Loveland too.
In Loveland.
Kathleen, I stopped coloring my hair over a year ago and it hasn't gone full gray, just looks highlighted. Yeah, that's kind of what mine did. Mine kind of looked like a gradient type thing. It was a little weird for a while, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't near as bad as people were talking about. I mean, people just made it sound like they were dying because their hair was growing out gray. I was like, this really isn't that bad.
And too now, sometimes I notice it. It seems like when gals reach a certain age and they start letting their hair grow out, they don't curl it. They don't try to style it.
They don't put on makeup.
They don't put on makeup. And it's at those times that I think I notice it a little bit more. If you curl it and try to, do something with it like normal and you put your makeup on, I don't think it's as, quite as bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Nicole, I wanted cheese fries from a restaurant. I made it homemade right now. Save so much money. Very good.
Good.
Rosa loves the encouragement to keep going. Yay, I'm glad. Michelle says Amazon sent me the wrong item. An eyeglass repair kit. I ordered flag sticky things. I had that happen the other day too. I got flag. Let's see. Flagpole clips, I guess is what they would be. Yeah, flagpole clips. I'm like, where did these come from? And then they did it actually 6 months ago too. They sent us hair ties. Two of my boys, although one doesn't live with us, but two of my boys have long hair. So I thought maybe they ordered them. It was like 150 hair rubber band things. I said, did you order this? Like, no. And so they were just sending me all kinds of weird stuff. Melissa, she loves all the added tips in the cookbook. Yes, we have 500 recipes and 700 tips in the book. Wanda says, I'm 60 and finally figured out to add a little water to my eggs, then cover with a lid, and I don't have to flip them. Jeez. Yes. Okay, Wanda.
I'm still learning some stuff too. I think I wish I'd known this, years ago. So,
Becca, I would have needed 2 nitroglycerin over the lady eating a quarter of the food and dumping it.
Yeah, it was just.
I know. Michelle made our iced tea again. She's making it for her mom tomorrow. Yeah, right now in Super Easy Recipes, one of my top recipes is the raspberry tea.
Mm-hmm.
Patty, love your cookbooks because they're full of food people like. Comfort food, great recipes. Yep. Wanda, cookbooks are great recipes with common ingredients and easy instructions. Yep.
Oh, you guys are telling us some good stuff. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Debbie, I'm 65, scrimping and frugal for about 44 years. 3 of my 4 kids do too, which I love. Still love watching you all because I learned stuff. Yep. Kathy, she loves the cookbooks because they don't require fancy ingredients. That's great. Seeking Joy brought up an important point. Most of the vegans I meet are overweight. I actually believe these people are not eating healthy. No, they are not. And I know that for a fact. And a lot of them are deficient on B vitamins, despite what they say. It's not a healthy diet to be on. Jacqueline, I dried radish tops in my dehydrator. I'm going to try carrot tops. For what would you use those? I guess soups, maybe?
Yeah,
I
might
don't
work
know.
for soups.
Let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Llama Mama says, I worked in an upsell grocery that sold expensive cheese that we regularly cut the mold off and put it back out to sell. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay.
But
it is cheese.
Yeah.
But put it back out to sell. Wow. Elise.
So that goes to show, you
Yeah.
know, some of the stuff you guys worry about and stress over in your food that is going to hurt you or do stuff to you. This shows you that it's not as bad as what you think. You know, you can relax on this stuff a little bit.
Wow. Elise says we use leftovers and try and plan meals to use part of the night, the meal before, in the next night's meal. Yep, that's exactly what we do. We usually make a pot of rice and then it lasts us 3 or 4 days for all our meals.
Mike eats a lot of rice. He likes
Francis says she made the grape nuts twice and she loved them, I'm assuming. I don't know. My daughter loved them is actually what I was going to say. And I kind of combined my 2 comments there. My daughter made them and she absolutely loved them. She said that she didn't like the length that they baked though. But I'm wondering if they're too hard, either lower your temperature in your oven or cut back on the cooking time. But I'm wondering if her oven is off because when I tested this recipe, they were fine. So make sure your oven temperature is correct. I'm thinking my daughter's oven might be running hot.
I saw something the other day and the gal had trouble with her cookies. And somebody said, you need to make sure your temperature, because that happens a lot. I'm still working on my new oven that I've got, trying to get it balanced out with a lot of my recipes.
Elise says we use our leftovers and try to plan meals to use part of, did that one. Donna, they use leftovers. It's hard to learn to cook for just 2 people since our grandsons graduated high school and are not here as often. Melissa, the lady could have made another meal with what she had left over. Yep. I know. Yeah, if you guys have comments or questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Tori, that debate made me very thankful. My trust is in God, not man. Oh my goodness!
Good, yeah.
So we were in Yellowstone when it happened, and it's a good thing. I was just like, I never watch presidential debates. I have never ever watched one in my entire life. And I didn't really want to watch this one either.
But you had nothing else to do.
No, we did. I didn't watch it that night because we had no service in Yellowstone. We had no service at all. We had nothing.
No phone.
No phone, no internet, nothing. There is. So if you go to Yellowstone, you will not have service. Do not expect to have service. Now, I will say,
or motel rooms or
motel rooms or food for that matter,
or bathrooms or gasoline.
No, they did have plenty of bathrooms. That was, I think they were afraid of people going in the woods and getting eaten by a bear. But that whole debate was just. Here's the one thing. Now, Mike said that he's heard Amir Safate talking about this, and then I heard Pastor James Kadash, is that his name?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
I did finally yesterday. Mike said that he heard Amir, and then I heard James say this yesterday. I think it's a setup. I think they're setting up something. This has to be a setup because who in their right mind would have put a person who is not in their right mind like that up for a debate?
I know.
It didn't even make sense.
It didn't make sense to me either.
they have to be doing some sort of a setup for something or another. Now, what that setup is, I don't know. They're putting somebody else in. I don't know what the setup is. But the people behind the scenes have got to know that that wouldn't work. And then when his wife afterwards was like, well, you did such a good job. You answered all the questions.
He
Like
was
a
2 years old.
4-year-old. This is just beyond crazy. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
This is so beyond crazy. You know it's spiritual warfare because it's just absolutely insane.
You know,
Absolutely insane.
It's kind of sad in a way because I didn't see that much of it, just a little bit, but just what I did hear and say, it hasn't been that long ago that I was back with my mom, like I said, at her nursing home where she was. And I stay, usually when I go, I stay there a while, and I meet a lot of people in there. You know, I eat meals with them, and I talk to a lot of the people that's my mom's age. Now we're talking 96. And my mom and a lot of the other people that were there,
Are
they
way worth it.
they were
way better with it.
they didn't, he was so much worse, maybe I should say it this way, than any of them that I met at that nursing home. He was so much worse. I mean, I feel sorry for the man. It's just like, if it's just,
But
I
it
don't,
has
I don't
to
even
be
know
a
what to
setup.
say. Yeah, I don't even
It
know what
has
to
to
say.
be a setup.
But I thought that's really bad.
Yeah.
That he was so much worse than those people that I met. I didn't meet one person at that nursing home that was in that bad a shape mentally. I really didn't.
Because they didn't have to agree to do that debate. They agreed to do that debate. And you have to be either some kind of really stupid to agree to do that.
I was no. When
and I
they
can't
said they were
believe
going to do
that
it, I
many
thought
people
that
are that stupid. You know,
Mhm.
Michael says, I want to get the gluten-free cookbook for my daughter. Are the recipes easy? Yes, they are really easy. And it's 40% off right now. Okay. Jano Moore says it was more like a Saturday Night Live skit. I know. I was
Yeah.
just sitting
the whole
there
thing
thinking,
with her saying this stuff she said to him, the whole thing, everything about it was
Missy says,
weird.
I have my mom's cookbook, Dining on a Dime from 2004. Wow.
Oh.
And now we have generational. Now we're generational cookbook.
That's
Midwest
that's
Mom
making us so old.
says, I have been serving side salads a lot lately using vegetables on sale. Yep.
Very good.
I have a lot of lettuce in my garden I need to use.
Oh, you do?
You won't like it. Stacy, you're a picky eater. You won't eat it.
I like lettuce.
Not fancy lettuce.
I eat
It's
fancy.
not
I
iceberg.
just don't pay for fancy lettuce usually.
Stacy, my style is humongous and I need another deep freeze, or my stockpile is humongous and I need another deep freeze. I got new glasses coming, guys. I have to have show glasses now because I wear a special pair of glasses for every day. And these are my old glasses and I can't see very well. CC, I love my autographed spiral book. The laundry detergent recipe costs a few dollars to make for a year's supply. Yep. Very good. That was actually my first video I think I ever made on living on a dime. So if you go to videos and you hit the oldest, I think it was my first video, I think.
We do have things, a whole section on laundry detergents, toiletries like lotions and stuff like that in the cookbook for those of you that are debating on, getting one. We have a whole section on that type of stuff.
Let's see. Lakeisha says, greetings from Missouri. She enjoys watching this channel with food prices continuing to skyrocket. We need this info. Yeah, the other day, yesterday I looked and I found an old clip from 2019 and my little fold top baggies were $1.18 and now they're $1.88.
Wow. Yeah.
So thank you, Biden. Wanda, Tara and Jill, how do I get the smell from my clothes when I left them in the washer too long? I hope that's the reason and not the washer's fault. Just rewash them, should get it.
If they're colored, you could try adding some borax to them.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a little bit of
baking
borax.
soda too if you don't have borax.
And if they're whites, I would bleach them if they're whites because that's the best of all. That'll get rid of all the mold in the wash machine and in your clothes if you just add a little bit of Clorox. But if they're not whites and they're colored, then I would try the borax.
And then if you don't just do a load of whites, then I would run a white towel or two or something white and just purposely do one load to get the bleach
With
to
the
clear.
bleach in it. Yeah.
Oh, wait till you guys see my jetted tub pictures in the upcoming video. Speaking of mold and bleach. Oh, it's embarrassing.
Your wash machine? You know what? I was just going to
It's
say, I just
bad.
recently pulled out that little thing where my detergent goes in there, and it yanked out, and I looked, and there was mold in there.
Yep. You got to clean it all.
Yeah.
And
So it was.
let me see if I'll give you guys a preview. Oh my goodness. I'm ashamed.
Mine was horrible.
I'm ashamed to show this. I'm absolutely ashamed to show this, but I'm working on editing the video, so I'll just show you. Okay, you guys ready? If you're eating dinner, turn your head away. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Can you?
That black stuff
is what I have been soaking my body in every night. Is that not the most disgusting thing you've ever seen? Oh my goodness. That video is coming up on how to clean them.
Speaking of that mold being like that in the bathtub, this may be too much information, but ladies, if you have problems with infections and stuff, or even with athlete's foots for guys and things, you need to be really careful in cleaning your shower out or taking baths. If you're taking baths and you and your daughters keep having problems, you need to clean that bathtub in between baths really well, because sometimes that stuff just stays behind, if you're not really careful about cleaning the stuff out like that, or start taking showers for a while,
My friend Erica said, I'm just getting my penicillin for the day.
You're getting your penicillin. Oh, dear.
Okay. Wanda says, one bad thing about the cookbooks is having to choose which recipe to use.
Oh, that's good.
Rachel says, I have 2009 print cookbook. Are the newer editions much different? No. So this is totally different. This is all new recipes. This one has 40 new recipes, but all the other recipes are 40 new recipes and like, I don't know, like 100 new tips or something like that. Let's see.
Oh, and if you guys are wondering what's in the book, you can go to our website and go to the shop and look up the book under the shop, and it'll show you page by page
everything that's in the
book. So, if we don't go in enough detail here, you can check it out that way just to see what all's in there.
And all of our cookbooks are 40% off for our 25th anniversary sale, guys. This month on my birthday's at the end of the month. For my birthday, Mike bought me the domain name for our first website. That's what he got me for my birthday. I know I asked for weird birthday presents.
I know, I was going to say, that's one thing about gifts. When you said it earlier, Tara and I ask for stuff that we want. Instead of just going out and buying something, we will ask for it for our birthday, even if it is something kind of weird sometimes. So
Elaine says the Salvation Armies around me are going out of business. The other thrift stores in my area are very expensive. There's virtually no garage sales. Just keep trying. Yep. We've lived in all places. This place has the best thrift stores and garage sales we've ever seen in our entire life. Colorado, the garage sales were horrible, but the thrift stores were fairly decent. Kansas, we had one thrift store that was good, but everything else, the garage sales weren't that great. That one thrift store was really good, but then they went out of business. In Idaho, we had nothing. Texas, I just stayed in the house the whole time because it was too hot, so I never went anywhere.
It's interesting because when for 5 years, we were planning on moving. And so I was just back and forth, whether I should move to where Tara and Mike were, kind of pretty much planning on it, but wasn't sure. And I was praying about it. And then I said, but dear God, what am I going to do for a thrift store? Because I knew some places where I'd lived, I didn't have a thrift store. And I loved my thrift store so much. Well, about a year before they moved up here, my thrift store closed down. And I thought, oh no, is this kind of like a sign that God's telling me, he's taken away something that I was wanting to stay in Kansas for? Is he wanting me to go ahead and move? well, then finally I knew that I was supposed to be moving, not just because of that, but other things involved. And I kept thinking, what am I going to do for a thrift store, dear God? I don't know that's what I'm going to miss more than anything. And we get here, and the garage sales too, because I was thinking a small town, we wouldn't have very many good garage sales. And we got here, it was like mind-boggling. I don't think we've ever lived any place. So it's like God helped me in one sense to make the decision to move here, and in the other sense, he gave me what I need. He always provides what we need, and a lot of times our wants too on top of that.
So on this picture, guys, this was after I bleached my tub. This was bleaching it. I had just bleached it a few days before this. Just so you guys know, somebody said something about bleaching it. So Olympia loves the taco seasoning in volume 1. Yeah, you can find the recipe at livingonadime.com if you want to try it out. Just search taco seasoning and you'll find it. Elizabeth says use leftover giant lettuce spinach boxes as drawers for the refrigerator. Keep the fridge clean. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you can send me the last batch. Hair Tight says, I made your strawberry pie from volume 1 and used your pie crust. It was so good. Yep, that's Mom's pie crust. It's delicious. I hate pie crust, but I'll eat Mom's. Elizabeth, Tara, I just love your top today. Thank you. I got it in Ireland. So, yes, I don't hardly ever wear it. I don't know why. I just need to wear it more. Vicky, we were driving in 1997 from Georgia to Virginia and we got tired, so we stopped at a motel. We had 6 people in our family. We had to beg the lady to stay. We were lucky they let us. I know. I was like, let's just go home. This is ridiculous. It was, if we didn't need to kind of be there for something, then yeah. But Claire said, Claire says, I'm making cake mix cookies tonight out of some old German chocolate cake mix. Yum. That is delicious.
Yeah.
Melissa, I don't get when people either complain about how recipes are or why you don't make a low-calorie cookbook. Get it together, people, and use the brain that God gave you and Granny gave you and substitute. Yeah, I've lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks, and I've used all the recipes in our cookbooks. That's why I don't want to do a diabetic cookbook, because if you're diabetic, you don't need to cook special. You just need to stop eating so much darn food. Rosa, I have put extra meat away immediately, not so much the side dishes. Yep, that's totally fine. Terry has been with us since 2004.
Whoa.
Wow, almost the beginning. Claire says, I'm making the cake mix cookies tonight out of some old German chocolate cake mix. Oh, wait, I read that one. Yeah. Olympia says, I put tabs on recipes I've used. Easy to find. Very good. Pam says, just went to Subway. The flatbread is thinner than before. How can flatbread get thinner? She hasn't eaten out in over a year. Wow. Just Vicky, I've been laying off the donuts, but I still buy the pies at the Mennonite store once in a while. When I saw pies were $25 each, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to make a buy. Amanda says, I saw you put water in your mustard bottle so the last tablespoon could be used for the honey butter chicken. That was brilliant. I'm never wasting a drop again. Yes, very good.
And you can do that with your mayonnaise jars too, is put a little bit of milk in and shake it up and use it in your potato salad or dressing whenever you use it.
Ketchup, put it in your spaghetti sauce, your barbecue sauce, put it in with your barbecue meatballs. Yep. Tanya, I made the overnight oats. They are easy and good. Pull it out and heat up. Yep.
Oh, good.
Paula, my dad used to eat Colby cheese chunks, and if it got mold, he would just slice off the mold, throw it away, and still eat the rest. Yep. Wanda, I saw a video the other day where they made poke cake. Do you think it could be made as cupcakes? It could, but depending on how well your cupcake liners are stuck to your cake, if they're not stuck really good, then it's going to leak out around your cupcake liner. So I don't know. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you were going to do something like that, what I would do instead is just make the cupcakes and poke a hole or if you have a decorating bag or something, and just fill the center with frosting or something like that, instead of messing with the poke cake type stuff.
Michelle says, I was talking to Amazon customer service and they wanted me to return an item I never got. It was very confusing. Goodness gracious.
On the cupcakes too, we do have the recipe, don't we, for the filling?
Cupcake, yeah, we do have cupcake. We have two or three different cupcake fillings in here.
Yeah. Like, we
We have Mom's, and then we have
Hostess
Aunt Donnie's.
cupcakes.
So Mom's is no cook, and Aunt Donnie's is cook, and so it just depends on which one you want. But
And
yeah.
so, and I used to make up the Hostess cupcake filling, and you do up a batch, and it would have some left over, and you can just freeze what's left over, and then I'd pull it out later, a couple weeks later, make some more up, and I have it I'd have it in the freezer frozen.
All right. Let's see. Debbie says, I managed to buy 2 of your volume 1 with the spiral here in Canada before all the extra postal charges. Wish I could buy volume 2. Actually, it's on our to-do list to look at international shipping. Our Shopify has set up a new thing, so we might be able to do it, but frankly, it's low on our list. So we're looking into it, but not real quick. Dancing, always check your receipt. I had to go back to the store, but I was refunded $8. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One time, last time I went to Albertsons, it was like a $30 or $40 difference. It was huge. Kimberly, another thing I do with leftovers is I still make stir fry, or I'll make soup. I'll just throw it into something else. Okay, so if she has leftovers, she'll make it into stir fry or something else, is basically what she's saying. There's an entire week's, I tell my husband to freeze. His freezer is too full of leftovers, and we're going to eat them all. Yeah, so we go through, and I will specifically just say, I don't care what is in the fridge or freezer. We are eating it. It needs to be cleared out, and I'm working on that myself for my home inside the house freezer because I'm having the same problem. Dancing Girl, I had someone tell me to put lotion on gray hair, and with just a few drops on my brush, it's soft and shiny. Yeah. When we went with some friends one time, the mom forgot to bring conditioner. And she's like, oh, what am I going to do? My daughter's hair is all tangled. I said, well, just put a little bit of lotion in there. She's like, lotion? I said, well, lotion and conditioner are the same thing. It's just the amount of water that they add. Conditioner has more water than lotion does. That's all it is. Michael says, I find the deals I hate to pass up, but I really need to use what I already have. The struggle is real. Yeah. I get it. Denise, I have volumes 1 and 2. Let me tell you, people, now is the time to get them. Yes, they are such a wealth of information covering so many topics, and they're 40% off. Thank you. Normally, we don't do 40%. We only do 40% for Mother's Day and Christmas normally. But because it is our 25th anniversary, we decided to go ahead and do 40% off this month, the entire month, because I know people get checks at different times, and we didn't want anybody to lose out or miss out. So we did it the whole month. Denise says, I have volume 1 and 2. And let me tell you, people, Barbara says, it is nice to see us. Nice to see you too, Barbara. Elizabeth, I filled up my jacuzzi with bleach water and run the jacuzzi. Yeah, she was the one I was talking about. She lives in South Texas Mold. Yeah, that picture was after I had bleached. I was so shocked. It really was. I know. You guys, you wait till you see the video. It's going to be interesting. Vicky says, I love Arm & Hammer odor-free laundry detergent. It's awesome. I started using it for my stepfather's clothes. It removes urine smell. Ooh, that's good. Jen says, that happened with me with the washer. There was mold behind the detergent holder. Yeah. When I worked at the KOA in Estes Park, when I worked at the campground, they had us taking a toothbrush, and we had to take all the detergent holders out. We had to take the door off every single day. And you would not believe the stuff that gets up in all those.
Well, see, I hadn't cleaned under there since I bought the house. I cleaned the other parts of the washer before I used it, but I hadn't thought about underneath there. So, I don't know. I run Clorox in mine enough that usually I don't have problems with mold and that type of thing. So that's why I was kind of surprised.
Let's see. Jen says that happened to me with the washer. There was mold in the detergent. Yep. Just remind me to need to check that. Yep. Barbara says a penicillin bath bomb. Yeah. And Elizabeth is laughing at that. Yeah. That's basically what my friend was saying. I was like, seriously. Rose family, good morning. It's been very humid here. Now it's the rainy season. You are not going to believe this. She says mold is a major battle. So listen to this. We were 69 degrees today. And in 1 week, they are expecting our temperature to be 106.
It was so cold at my house. I got my winter slipper socks out, and put a sweater on. I was that cold today at my house.
69 to 106. That just should not be.
Should be
Turid, hello.
Hi, Turid.
Happy 4th of July to you too, even though you guys don't celebrate it. Claire says, did I clean out the jets with a pipe cleaner? Sort of. Yeah, I sort of did. Okay, let's see. Monica says we have garage sales 2 times a year, and I think everyone had already sold all the good stuff. Yeah, you got to go early. I notice basically if you don't find it in the first hour, you might as well just stop going, because pretty much if you can't catch it in the first hour.
And if it's on Friday and Saturday, try to hit Friday first.
Yeah. That's the good thing, that if you can hit Friday, it's a lot easier. But like weekends, like the 4th of July weekend and Memorial Day weekend, they don't have as many. Labor Day weekend, so there may not be many this weekend. Wanda, when my front loader goes, I hope to just get a plain Jane one. I don't need all those options. I do like the front loader, but I'm so short. Yeah, so I'm wondering, they said the Speed Queen top loaders are really good. So I'm wondering when mine goes out if that's what I should get.
I think Speed Queen would be good. I had a really good, it was just a little small appliance place, a home mom and pop type thing that I'd used for like 45 years that I lived in Wichita. And that's where I got all my appliances. And one thing they told me is to get the machine that has the simplest controls, the simplest of everything. That they told me that with the refrigerator and my stove. And I've always done that. And I've not had to have I've never had a wash machine repaired or anything like that. You know, I had my refrigerator one time repaired, but I'd had it for quite a while. So make sure you get the simplest ones. But I have heard that Speed Queen's pretty good.
And Wanda says, oh yeah, got that one. And let's see.
Mike's awful quiet over there. Are you still with us?
Huh? Terry says we need prayer for our daughter, Sherry. She's in the ER. Oh dear. Yes, we will do that. Elaine says, I have had a Speed Queen top washer for 10 years. No problem. Wow. Let's see. Mary says, and you thought Trump did a good job for the debate. Well, he certainly did a lot better than Biden did. Here's the thing, guys. Trump is 78 years old. First of all, he is not the savior of our world. Jesus Christ is our savior. He is not the savior, but he is still a way better candidate than Biden ever will be or is at the moment. But even at that, Trump is still 78 years old. I'm not sure that either one of them are going to make it the next 4 years. You know, I mean, I don't know. But I mean, I'll vote Trump over Biden 100% because if that's the only two choices, then that's what I'm going to get. But Trump is not our savior. But it's, you know, it's what you got to do. So the whole thing is just so absurd. You're just sitting here thinking, have I just gone into the Twilight Zone? Because I cannot believe they would actually put this man up here.
I thought it was cruel. I thought it was kind of cruel for them to do that.
Well, and you know who's really sick? His wife. His wife. That woman is deranged. She is absolutely deranged to allow this to keep going on. Yeah. She is absolutely deranged. Absolutely.
If your spouse is in that bad a shape, you need to protect them and take care of them and help them.
Oh,
you really do.
All right. 25. Oh, that's a way. 25th anniversary, guys. 40% off our cookbooks.
And remember what tomorrow's for, the 4th of July. Don't forget our veterans and what, you know, we're going to be barbecuing. You're going to do fireworks. And be sure to tell your kids why we're doing all of this, you know, doing the 4th. Don't forget our vets and everything, guys.
Mrs. Herschel says, I'm struggling with using Crystal. It's a mental block. I know it's ridiculous. Encourage me, please. Oh, my goodness. It's Crisco. We're not asking you to use cyanide. Listen, put it into perspective. If you use a half a cup of Crisco in an entire cake, that means it is less than a teaspoon, probably a quarter of a teaspoon that you are eating in each piece of cake. You gotta get a grip. And if
Okay.
you eat anything from the store, like donuts or croissants or anything like that, you're eating way more.
I am 73. My mom's 96. We have used Crisco for years. My dad was 92 was grandpa when he died and passed away. And with his heart problem stuff, his heart doctor said, it's not the food, it's the stress in your life that's hurting people's hearts.
worry
And
about
he was one of the top ones.
Yeah.
Use common sense. All these people, like at the nursing home, they ate Crisco. They weren't worried about Crisco forever. And they're older. And I don't know why people's afraid to put the Crisco in because
But here's the thing. If you don't want to use it, just don't use it. It's okay. Just use margarine or butter.
margarine or
It's
butter.
fine.
Margarine's the same way. There's nothing.
It's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal. It's really not that big of a deal. So
Yeah.
I really wouldn't worry about it.
So.
Livingonadime.com. Happy 4th of July, guys.
Bye-bye,
We'll see you guys next time.
Happy 4th.
Oops. Wait, I got to wait for Mike to get everything in
Is he getting
there. He got it.